Hello my gorgeous makeup loving friends, how's it going? Today's video is for me a really exciting one. I love Kaleidos makeup and I really enjoy Angelica Nyqvist. I have been watching her channel for the guts of about 3 years now, and of course she did a collab with Kaleidos, so I was obligated to get it. It just arrived yesterday, so I just had to smoosh it all onto my face. So obviously I created this look here. If you want to see how I did that, that's part of the video. But I also do some swatches on my face to give you an idea of what they look like, and I will give you a review of what I think of this palette. Is it worth the money? Is it worth getting? Are you going to have FOMO if you don't have this? Well, you'll see. Do please keep on watching. So we're going to do swatches, obviously, of the Club Nebula, and I'm so excited. I've already swatched these. I swatched them for my Patreons, and they swatched really nicely. So this isn't even a first reaction for me. Soz, guys, you missed that. This is Firefly. It's this lovely duochrome, which of course doesn't show up very well on the camera, but what else, it is what it is. We have 7 of 9. Gravity, which, let's face it, that's what I'm very much going towards. Queen of Blades. And Void. Lois asked me would I make a look out of these, and quite frankly I think that's exactly what it is that I'm going to do, because those are the kind of shades that I would have gravitated towards in the palette anyways. I like that each kind of row almost has its own unique colour story. I think that's really pretty. So I'm going on to the next one. Oh, sorry, they're so nice. So this is You're My Only Hope. I think this is in relation to, you know, the Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi, You Are My Only Hope. Because this is obviously the collaboration with Angelica Nyqvist, and she is a big Star Wars fan, so that would make a lot of sense. We have Naru. Astro. Oof, that's nice. Rock Hopper. Don't know what a rock hopper is. Let's do it like that. Yeah. And Cylon. Yeah, that's it. Like, that's the first 10 shades. Again, that one, You're My Only Hope, has a bit of a shift to it that you probably can't see very well. Kaleidos's formula in terms of their shimmers are always ridiculous, like in the best possible way. Then we're on to the very last row. We have Celestial, which again is sort of a duochrome, and it doesn't show up well on camera, which is a bit annoying, but you can kind of see it there. There's a pinky shift to it. We have Nova, which is, I don't know if you can see it on the camera. Go on, focus on my finger. Look at my finger. No. It's not going to focus on my finger. Anyways, it's this beautiful lilac-y blue shift. So again, I'm going to put it like that so maybe you can see it. It's so pretty. Then we have Samus. Don't know if I'm pronouncing these things properly. We have Nebula, which is obviously the name of the palette. And we have Red Giant. I'm going to put you there. That's it. That's the swatches of the entire palette, which is, of course, here. Beautiful colour story. You know, I've watched Angelica Nyqvist for, I think, maybe 3 years now, something like that. Probably more, actually. And actually knowing her, this is very telling. Like, this is very much in line with the sort of colour story that she likes. And just based upon the swatches, I'm already like, oh, very excited. So if you want to see what I do with this and how I put this all together into a look along with a tutorial and a general review, keep on watching. It does get better, I promise. So this is obviously the eye look that we are going to attempt to create on this eye using the Nebula palette by Kaleidos. So, I mean, I've primed the eyes. Hurrah, and I am using this, I think it's the JS12, and I don't know how I didn't smear this particular shade all over me. It is Gravity. I mean, you know how I feel about greens, or if you don't know me, hello, how's it going? How are you doing? So I'm just gonna pat it on here and just gently swoosh. This palette makes an awful lot of sense if you watch Angelica or Angelica, whichever way you want to go, because her Instagram handle is Angelica. And I know she would like refers to herself as like Angie, like with a harder G, but I remember once she did answer a question of how she pronounces her name and she said it was Angelica. So I was like, yeah, okay, that makes sense because it's Swedish. Like that's like the Swedish pronunciation. So we'll go with that. Anyways, I'm just going into it again and just pat, pat, pat. Again, all very technical terms. Don't worry, you'll get there eventually. And just swishing it. I was very ambitious and did like a double liner. Did it come out great? No, but like, is it the worst thing I've ever done? Also no. So we're getting there, we're improving. That's all I ask for. So the pigment, as you can see, is really darn lovely. Like the mattes are beautiful. You'll see what the shimmers are like in a little bit. I have this, I think is it, oh yeah, it was a Blush Tribe, sort of a brush. Can't even speak today, it seems. And I'm going into the shade 7 of 9, which is this one here, and just going to tap that on and pat it ever so slightly and swishy swishy. Just blend it into the green, or at least that's the hope. As you can see, like they do blend so well. I don't have to work very hard with that, which is nice because I am horribly lazy. If you haven't been here before, I'm terribly lazy. Sorry. It's just, it is what it is. I'm gonna take this brush again and go into the green. So I think it's called Gravity, and just swish back and forth. Just to kind of ease the transition a little bit more. I'll put a bit more of the 7 of 9 on. Look, I don't know what I'm doing, it's fine. There we go. Yeah, that's fine. And then next thing, look, this is, like I said, it's a very simple look. Going into the Spectrum B11, and I'm going into the shade Queen of Blades, which is this one here. I wanted to kind of use as many of these as I possibly could, just to get an idea of how the palette overall performs. Because I think I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 shades out of the 15. So actually I can speak to it at the end, like as to how I think it all went. So again, I mean, nothing complicated here, just blending. What I'm going to do now is take this brush, go through the colour switch, take on a bit of the 7 of 9 shade and just swish back and forth here. Just to try and get it to blend a bit more gently. Am I going to get the two eyes to match? Probably not. Probably not. But like, you know, whatevs. It'll be close enough. And then I have all my brushes here. I have the Sigma E27. It's the detail blending brush, and I'm going into the shade Void. Stare into the void, my friends. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. Anyways, whatever. And just popping that there and swishy swishy. Again, I've probably put that in a slightly different place than on the other eye, but whatevs. It's close enough. Close enough. Blues can end up being quite patchy. This one doesn't go on all that smoothly initially, but you can build it up and the patchiness goes, which is nice, because when I initially put this on the other eye, I was like, oh dear, what are we doing here? But it rectified itself, which is a great sign because blues are just very difficult to formulate. She said, even though she doesn't do anything with cosmetics other than shove them onto her face. But you know, I have a very trustworthy face. I'm going into Queen of Blades again, which was the last one, and I'm just swishing it between the two just to bring it out there, and taking on that dark blue again, the Void. You stare into the void and the void stares back at you, which is what I say to my cat because she's black, and I just think that it's like, you know, she is a void. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cut the crease off camera, and I'm also going to add a liner It's the Suva Grape Soda. You don't need to see me doing that because frankly, who cares? And we'll come back and we'll do the next step. Or will we? Maybe I'll go. It's hard to know. So obviously I have put the first of grape soda, which is the purple Suva liner, down, and I've also put primer down onto the lids again. So what I'm going to do is I have this NYX silicone spatula. You kind of need that for the shimmers here, and I'm going to go into the shade Firefly. It's this beautiful kind of greeny bluey duochrome. It's absolutely like ridiculous. It's so pretty, and I'm just going to pop it in there like that. I will likely have to go over the liner again just to try and get it, but you can see how if you put it on with the spatula you get way more like pigment than if you were putting it on with a brush, and I prefer using the spatula than for instance using my fingers, just because I can kind of get a bit more precision because I have big fat fingers. They're, you know, stupid. Anyways, that's how I'm doing this. As you can see, I mean, look at that. Look at that beautiful, beautiful pigment. Absolutely no issue with that at all. And going in with this again, because I've just wiped it off, and oh lordy, I'm going into the shade Astro, which is this one here. Just be aware you will have a certain amount of kick up because they are softly pressed, which, you know, no harm. And I'm just going to pop that there. Don't worry about the harsh lines. That's my problem. That's not yours. Don't worry. Everything will be fine. And frankly, if that's your biggest worry, oh my God, I'm delighted that that's where we are in our relationship, that you worry so much about my makeup. You can see, look, goes on, no problem. Really nice pigment. Like, it's just an easy little blend. And next thing I have then is this Sigma E36. It's a lovely little blending brush, and I'm just going to go between the two here. You can see that it will help kind of soften the transition between the two of these, or at least it should, and it does. Hurrah! I mean, those shimmers, are they not just stunning? That's the technical term. Right, the next bit, again, I'm going to do off camera. God, there's a lot of this that I'm doing off camera, but don't worry, it's more like a review, and I mean, you don't need me to show you how to put on liner. What I'm going to do is just cut out like a little bit of this crease to do the double line, and I'm using the Suva liner in Scrunchie, and I'm going to go kind of out here like that, and I'm going to take the purple liner down here just to kind of meet it. So there is method to my madness, I promise. Or maybe there's just madness, who knows? So as you can see, I have kind of cut the crease again, if we can even call it that, and I've put on the liner Scrunchie. Does it match this one? No, but whatever. I'm taking the NYX brush again and going back in because you know I have to go into more of these lovely little duochrome shimmer shades. My lord, I've already like absolutely destroyed this palette. You're My Only Hope, which again I really do think is a reference towards, you know, Obi-Wan Kenobi, given that Angelica is like a big Star Wars fan. I'll be honest, I've never watched Star Wars, so come at me, bro, or whoever. I think I'm past the age where I'd find it interesting, but it is what it is. So as you can see, put it on with the silicone spatula or with your finger. It is the best way to put it on. Ugh, this just makes me want to weep. It is sheer perfection. And if you don't agree with me, get off my channel. I'm kidding, please don't leave me. I don't want to be alone. Same spatula again, and I'm going into the shade Celestial. Yeah, it's a very shimmer heavy look. Soz. Didn't really feel like using many of the mattes, even though the mattes are lovely and they blend beautifully, but I don't have to justify myself. I can do what I want, thank you. And just popping that there. Again, very easy to pop on. Just use your spatula. That is the key. You know, listen to me, I'm filled with so much wisdom. Taking this again, I've wiped it off, and I'm going into Nebula, which is what the palette is named after. And just putting a little bit here onto the outer corner. I don't really want a huge amount of that because I'll kind of be closing off the gap with the purple shade, you know, the, not scrunchy, grape soda from Suva. Again, not that you'll be watching that because let's face it, that'd be boring AF. And where is my Sigma? Yes, Sigma blending brush. Again, it's the E36. And I'm just gonna swooshy, that's right, technical terms. And just go between them to try and blend it so it's a little bit more seamless. Hurrah! So that looks quite nice. And what I'm going to do now is just finish off the purple liner, and I'm going to get to the very last bit here. I promise. We're almost there. Almost. It's all right, guys. We're near the end. As you can see, I've put the purple down here. Now I kind of have to fill out this section here to kind of at least semi get it to match. That would be the hope. I have this little brush that I got from AliExpress. I know, who am I? And I'm going into the shade Cylon. There we go. All you need is just like a little kind of flat, thin brush to kind of pack on the shade. She said as if she knew what she was doing. And I want to try and make sure that I can get into all of the corners. Sounds very wrong. Again, this side does not match the other one. But weirdly, I think this side looks better. So actually just as well that you're seeing this side. Ha ha ha! It's worked out perfectly well for me. Ha 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 ha. As you can see, look at that. I mean, that packs on absolutely no problem at all. Not lovely? And then taking this same brush again, and I'm going into the shade Nova while things drop around me, because that apparently is my life. And just going to pack that on top. There we go. You can see it just kind of gives it that little extra zhuzh. I mean, it's such a beautiful palette. No issue with any of the blending or anything like that. So that's it. I will obviously finish off the line. I'm going to put on some jewels, some lashes, all that general jazz. And we will come back once I have a full face of makeup and look like a human again. I promise I do look like a human. And I will tell you what it is that I think of the entire thing. And you'll see a proper close-up. So do come back. Don't leave me. I'm back. And yeah, I have my hair completely slicked back, which is very unlike me. I feel very like, I don't know, like drag or something. I don't know, I feel kind of fierce. Anyways, really like the eye makeup. Am I getting better? Who knows? Anyways, I will zoom you in now so you can see what it actually looks like when it's all put together. So these are the eyes, obviously. I mean, there wouldn't be anything else. I used 11 shades out of the 15. So, I mean, I think I can give you a fairly comprehensive review as to what I think of the whole thing. Let's face it, gems always make everything a little bit more interesting. I regret nothing. So yeah, that's it. Just in case you're wondering what lipstick I have on, because it is really nice. It is the Chateau Labiat Wine Lip Tint, Velvet. I got that from Stylevana as part of my PR thing, so I'll leave like links down below in case you want to try them, and you can also use my code to get some money off. Anyways, that's not the point, but it is a nice lipstick. I do love me some red. Anyway, what is it that I think of this palette? It's so clearly done with Angelica in mind. I mean, the colour story is so indicative of the sort of things that she likes. Oh my god, I mean, I have liked Kaleidos from the beginning. Like, I got into Kaleidos when Angelica first talked about them on her channel, when the first 3 Futurism palettes came out, and I ended up buying them. And I would say this is probably their best offering so far. I just, like, I'm already, like, they can't have this be limited edition. They need to have this full time. Like, end of, it needs to be part of the collection at all times. I know that there's a restock happening. For the love of all that is good and holy, if you like this colour story and you haven't got this, get it. I really, really like this. I would give this a 10 out of 10. Blendability is fabulous. The colour story is beautiful. The shimmers are like just, I mean, they're fabulous. Nothing I can fault. There isn't anything that I would have actually changed about this. This is the sort of palette that I would gravitate to as well. So and I mean, even the packaging is just gorgeous. So 10 out of 10 would recommend. I think it's such a great palette, and I'm delighted for Angelica because she is such a lovely influencer, YouTuber, etc. And it's just nice to see another collaboration of hers go so well, because she has collaborated with the likes of Clionadh Cosmetics before, so it's just great to see this go well. But that's it. That's the end of the video. Do please like, comment and subscribe. Do please share, because sharing is caring, unless of course it's an STD, in which case, you know, wrap it up, don't be gross. That's it. That's the end of the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.